Hello everyone, welcome to this Despicable Maine special. I am Ethan Drake. In today's report, we address some of the known dirty tricks the state of Maine uses to enslave the people. So listen up. Chapter 9, Facts, Dirty Tricks, What They Don't Want You to Know. In this chapter, we'll delve into examples of typical misconduct and dirty tricks employed by Maine and the courts to control the public, revealing aspects they prefer to keep in the shadows. Automated guilt upon charge. Upon a criminal charge, the system tends to treat individuals as automatically guilty, especially if financial means are lacking to navigate its complexities. Court-appointed attorney's allegiance. Your court-appointed attorney may prioritize securing a conviction over ensuring justice, regardless of the truth behind the alleged crime or your rights. Exclusivity of the good old boys club. Prosecutors may be reluctant to engage with defendants outside the good old boys club, impacting fair communication and representation. Use of fake jurors. Courts may use fake jurors to manipulate outcomes, raising questions about the integrity of the judicial process. Yes, it is true. Courts throughout Maine use fake jurors to guarantee the desired results of a trial. Several investigators for this video discovered how this scam works. Basically, when the court wants to win a case, they just pick jurors that have no clue about the law, how courts work, then throw in a good old boys club fake juror as jury foreperson. Of course, the good old boys club fake juror has the knowledge to tell the other people how the law works during deliberation. Investigators for this video were working throughout the courthouses. They clearly witnesses the same exact individuals as jury foreperson in multiple trials. One even wore the same shirt, so the fake juror was easily identifiable at the time. The courts in Maine are totally despicable entities. Nothing they do is fair or even legal at all. In Maine, despicable trickery is the norm. Revenue-driven laws. Laws in Maine may seem geared more toward revenue generation than genuinely protecting the public. Prosecutorial misconduct. Prosecutors engage in various misconduct, including improper statements to the jury, evidence withholding, prejudiced conduct, and refusal to provide discovery materials to the defense attorney, evidence tampering and suppression, instances of ignoring requests to turn over key evidence, tampering with evidence, and instructing police to lose dash cam videos that could prove innocence have been reported. Coercion of false testimony. Prosecutors might pressure police officers to lie in court, leaving even seasoned observers shocked by the extent of fabrication. Fictitious bail violations. Cases exist where prosecutors inform judges of alleged bail violations that never existed, creating additional challenges for the accused. Misuse of state psychological evaluations. Maine courts and court-appointed attorneys may use state psychological evaluations conducted by non-licensed professionals using a simplistic questionnaire. These lack credibility and can be manipulated to suit the prosecution's narrative. Prejudicial trial strategies. For those unable to post bail, prosecutors may insist on the accused attending trial in jail clothing, handcuffs, shackles, and a belly chain for dramatic effect. This tactic is often employed when evidence against the accused is weak, compromising fairness for a desired outcome. There are 2 jury rooms in Maine courthouses, one for good old boys club members, and one for the rest of us that are getting cycle of misconducted. The jury room for non-members of the club are small, have a desk you can barely walk around, and hardwood seating. The room has no windows or a window that don't open, and a radiator blasting away in the corner, keeping the temperature on the nice and warm side for your trial. We wouldn't want the jury to take too long being in a small room in high heat with 12 people. It won't take the fake jury foreperson long to convince anyone in that room to stand on their head or convict a ham sandwich just to get out of that room. This is exactly what this jury room is designed to do. Since you can't leave until you all reach a verdict, make the people as uncomfortable as possible. Out of 12 strangers, you are going to get someone who don't like to be in a hot claustrophobic environment. The facts about the case not so important to the hot claustrophobic person anymore. They just want out of that room. Magically, the court has the verdict they wanted real quick, and the fake juror can start to concentrate on the next stage trial. Then there is the good old boys club jury room. This room is much larger, like a conference room. It has a table, plush padded seats, a big screen TV, air conditioning, a microwave, and a mini fridge. In this room, the fake juror is more comfortable so they can take more time conditioning and persuading the carefully court-chosen jury based on their lack of knowledge and or intelligence, therefore easily persuaded to reach the desired verdict the court wants. Maine courts use psychological tactics the Nazis from years ago would have been proud of. Maybe they learned it from the Nazi transplants of the era that moved to Maine after the war and are now in government. Understanding these practices is crucial for navigating the legal system, emphasizing the need for reforms to ensure impartial justice. Maine judges, prosecutors, and court-appointed lawyers often convene before trials to predetermine outcomes. A trial in Maine is more of a formality, with decisions made well in advance, consistently favoring prosecutors over defendants unless the defendant is part of their exclusive club. To enhance profits for members of the Good Old Boys Club, Maine courts mandate propaganda therapy and costly counseling for individuals convicted of offenses. Surprisingly, a charge of operating after a license suspension can result in more jail time than a charge of molesting a child, emphasizing skewed priorities, prioritizing revenue over justice. If seeking a jury trial and not part of the club, be prepared for direct threats from the district attorney or your court-appointed attorney. They may warn of significantly increased jail time or imply the maximum legal penalty if opting for a jury trial instead of accepting a plea agreement. In some instances, your court-appointed attorney may falsely claim that you are ineligible for a jury trial and must accept a predetermined plea agreement, further limiting options. The Good Old Boys Club ensures that, regardless of the crime charged, they stand to profit from legal proceedings. Maine's approach involves creating problems and then compelling locals to pay, either through purchasing seemingly worthless paper and stickers or becoming lawbreakers for non-compliance. The state insists that stores must sell lottery tickets, despite the Maine lottery being criticized for having the lowest payouts, and scratch-off tickets with 0 winners. Except the state, even after paying fines. Maine employs a deceptive tactic by claiming, after 5 years, that you never settled the fine. They disregard the fact that you couldn't have regained your license or registered a vehicle without clearing the fines. This strategy targets unsuspecting individuals who may not have retained a money order receipt for years due to the fading ink on the printed receipts. Men who live alone without a license may face additional hurdles, such as being required to attend a court hearing in a different county, possibly resulting in a warrant if they can't make it. Attempts by men to reschedule court hearings are often automatically denied, showcasing a biased system that targets men. In Maine, the poor are systematically victimized, with their wealth consistently funneled to members of the Good Old Boys Club. The cycle of struggle and survival perpetuates, leaving the poor paying repeatedly, without any improvement in their circumstances. In Maine, due to a lack of good job opportunities, some women find a way to make a living by strategically having children with different fathers for a big payday. The process involves having a child by a different father every 2 to 3 years. When the woman visits the Department of Human Services, locally dubbed the Man Haters Club, she informs them of the suspected father of the child. The man will likely be found guilty by default and sent a bill with incurred interest. If the man falls for this scam and makes just one payment, it is an admission of guilt in the eyes of the state, and the man will be sent a bill until that child is 18 years of age. In a deceptive scheme related to pregnancy checkups, the state-funded WIC program misleads women with promises of free items for newborns. Women are tricked to unknowingly sign binding contracts and later receive bills for the supposedly free items, creating an undue financial burden on the named fathers. Maine's exploitation extends to vehicle inspections, making it nearly impossible for primarily poor men to comply. The state's vehicle-related regulations unfairly target poor individuals who cannot afford repairs, forcing them to drive with expired inspection stickers. This tactic increases revenue through fines and penalties, creating a cycle of victimization. This is what you can expect living in Maine. Sounds like a wonderful place to live, doesn't it? And then the state are baffled why people are leaving and not coming back. Maine is a state where the people are a commodity or slaves. Living in the state of Maine is theft of your life. You can do better. If you found this despicable video report informative, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights and despicable tactics used by Despicable Maine. I am Ethan Drake. Until next time.